artist block is the worst. You sit down, ready to be a creative genius, and then your brain does this. No ideas. Blank. The void. You've entered the artist's void. Welcome. It's a great time here. But what if I told you there's definitely a way to get through it? There's a process, there's things that you can do to escape the void. And today I'm gonna take you with me designing an idol costume for a special client of mine from Australia, HAIPA Idols. If you don't know who I am, hello, my name is Marmalade. Welcome to the channel. I am a seamstress, costume designer, part-time idol living in Tokyo, Japan. I've been living here for a year and a half and I have made over 170 costumes, and a lot of them have been original idol designs. I kind of do it full time, so I do love it. I do love the idols. Now this is just an example. I wanted to go through point by point. I did already make another video similar to this about how I'm creative, and that video you can go watch another time, but for now, watch this one. It's gonna be more easier because I have an actual example to show you what I'm doing, whereas that one's kind of a longer, more philosophical video. So you've got your blank page of paper. Maybe you've even got some super cute inspiration, but you don't know what to do next. Before that, don't litter. Cheers! And let's see what kind of idol magic we can make today. And while I'm working on these designs, I want to share something kind of special. Much better. Now where was I? Oh yes, something more personal. So Mother's Day is actually right around the corner. It's next week, tomorrow. It's soon. It's very soon. And Mother's Day always makes me think of the special women in my life, and especially my mum, because her birthday is actually in May as well. And as kids, I think there were a few times where we may have combined Mother's Day with her birthday, and now I actually feel really bad about that because she deserves 2 days to celebrate mum. Most mums get that right. But there's also a lot of mentors and even friends who've shown me the kind of love that really sticks with you. And that's why I'm excited to announce that today's sponsor of this video is 𝐸𝐸. Thank you again for sponsoring my channel. I couldn't be more happy to work with this brand. 𝐸𝐸 is a high quality jewelry brand from New York, America, the United States. But they do ship worldwide, and as you can see, I'm wearing my full collection today. Almost full collection. I have so many pieces from 𝐸𝐸. These are a few of my favorite pieces that I've been wearing absolutely every day. And they've just sent me a new matching set of earrings and this beautiful pendant necklace, which I'm obsessed with already. They are hypoallergenic and water resistant. I've been wearing these for almost a year now, and there's no damage that I can see at all. And they're sustainably made, and the packaging is also sustainable. It comes in cardboard with only the tiniest bit of plastic, which is amazing. And they start at just $39, so pretty affordable as well if you're thinking about high quality jewelry. Mother's Day is also kind of a great excuse to buy yourself something nice. If you think about it, you're the also mother of your own life. No, you're not. But if you don't celebrate Mother's Day, that's fine too. You could also get yourself something nice. So please click the link in my description down below if you're interested in having a matching set or getting something nice for a woman in your life who you respect and love and admire and want to give a lovely gift that will probably last them a lifetime. By the way, they do have free US shipping and affordable worldwide shipping options as well. And everything comes with a 2-year warranty, so you don't have to worry when you're hitting checkout. But yes, link is in the description below. Thank you again, 𝐸𝐸, for sponsoring another one of my videos. But let's get back to designing, shall we? The first segment begins with the client, and you can also imagine you're doing this for yourself as well. So put yourself as the role of the client right now. It's your job to figure out exactly what this client is after and the purpose of this costume. If they don't have one, that's fine, but I highly recommend that you work together with this client to figure out what they're really looking for, even if it's in terms of style, of where it's going to be used, if it's going to be a performance, if it's going to be a video, what kind of colors they like, what trends they like at the moment, what they want this costume to signify. Is it going to be their first debut of the group ever and you have no basis to go off? That's what this situation is here. I get to invent something out of my wildest fantasy within the realms of what the client's asking for, but that's the fun of being a designer. And don't worry about finding the perfect idea yet, we're still in the brainstorming phase, but it's important to begin with foundations in case there's something that they really don't like or really don't want. Very important. So the client gave me an A4 document list of things that they would prefer and wouldn't prefer on their costumes, which included things like, I don't want shorts, I don't like long sleeves, I like short sleeves, I prefer sleeveless. For each different member, I got a short list, which is amazing by the way, so helpful to go off what I need to know, of what they prefer on their costumes to have. 2 of the members mentioned that they want a train, so I'll definitely be taking notes of that moving forward. So you're gonna wanna go ahead and jot down everything that they have given you that they want or don't want, which is what I have done here on this page of my notebook. I hope you can see it okay here, but I've got each member and then I've got the list of what they want, and then on the other side of the column, what they don't want. No hats, no lace, for example. Anyway, at the top, I did make a short blurb about the overall group branding and that they wanted a uniform look, but with small changes. They specifically referenced another set of costumes that I'd just done for 𝐬𝐨𝐬𝐈, which is an idol group from the US. Go check them out if you're interested. And they said that they wanted a white base plus featuring the image colors that are very saturated. And then they wanted silver holographic accents. So already this is huge to go start off jumping board. And what I'm gonna go do with this is now make a mood board, or sometimes the client brings me this mood board, but I still like to develop my own so that I know that I have a clear vision of what I'm really trying to capture with these costumes. One of the ways I like to build my mood boards is of course Pinterest, and with Pinterest I like to collect silhouettes, trends, textures, styles, accessory types, things like that, so I can get an overall vision. One useful thing I've started doing when mood boarding is putting one photo of the actual client on this mood board to help literally see how this person is going to be integrated into the overall brand of the costume. And since it's an idol costume, you're gonna want to draw inspiration from Japan and Japanese idols. There are a ton of creators you can follow right from Japan. I'm gonna put a few of my favorites on screen right now that I really recommend checking out. One of them is Kenta, which I was lucky enough to actually visit an exhibition of his works recently, and his work is just immaculate. I get a lot of inspiration seeing his. But yes, right now we're still in the vibe and the energy phase. The vibe. That leads us on to step 2, sketches, which is something that I actually didn't used to do. I used to just force myself to come up with the best possible idea right away from the get-go. What was it gonna be? But now I've realized, no, you know what? I have to experiment. I have to just let my brain flow and let all the ideas come to life in my brain so that I can then put them on page, which in the next page of my notebook, right next to the column list, I now have a few preliminary sketches, and these are not great, okay? They don't have to be anything special. What's important is that your ideas are kind of conveyed and that you get a rough visual idea. So you have a whole selection of ideas to choose from. And this way, you're not looking at a blank page anymore. You're just gonna fill the page with all kinds of ideas. It doesn't matter if they're good or bad. You can put bows any way you want, is what I did here in one of these designs. There's just a full outfit covered in bows. I don't know why I did that. Just whatever gets your juices flowing, you know? This is definitely the warm-up. So let yourself warm up, preheat that oven, so you can cook. And it's important in this phase, again, just to remind yourself, what kind of idol am I designing for here? Are they sweet and bubbly? Are they cool and mysterious? Are they actually a pro wrestler? All of this identity things helps you get a better picture of what you're going for. What's the theme of their next single? It all plays into the design, and recently I've been telling myself that it's almost like world building. If you imagine a whole world, not just the person, I feel like that gives me ideas. But I don't know if that's just a me thing. You don't have to do that. You don't have to come up with the landscape and background music of what is going on in the scene. And then in my notebook, I have another page of more fleshed out ideas of the things that I really liked, including also then basic pricing ideas, because obviously my clients are in different budgets, different pay ranges, and I want to offer them a few different options so that they have variety to choose from. They might only be able to afford the lowest tier option, and that's fine, because I still want to be able to work with them and they still want to work with me, and I don't want money to be the thing that is the deal breaker at the end of the day. But for somebody who is happy for the most premium experience and so that I can spend a hell of a lot of time sewing it and bringing it to life, then hell yeah, I'm gonna offer them the premium option with all the bells and whistles, with the custom embroidery, with the custom fabric, with the 3D printing, whatever the heck brings it to life, you know? And I think I need to make a point that a simple costume isn't a bad one. It still serves a purpose. It is still fulfilling that role of bringing you as an idol, as a performer, or the client in this case, to life. That's what it's supposed to do. It doesn't have to be the best thing ever seen. It just has to be them. It has to fill them up when they go on stage or wherever they're wearing this to embody what they want to embody. And that can be a simple seifuku. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be the shiniest baby metal vinyl holographic LED program thing. It really doesn't. I might edit this out, but on the other side of the sketches, I'll literally just quotes about death. Let me read it to you. The only thing you're rushing towards is the end of your life. Death. You know, sometimes it just be like that. I think all artists face dark thoughts, but anyway, that's not what this video is about, so let's get back to designing. On to segment 3. We don't need this anymore for now, so put that one away. Next, you're gonna want an iPad or a laptop. Hopefully you have one of those two things, because the next stage is fabric swatching, and the final line art. So now that you have all your sketches, you have your mood board, you have your textures in mind, I recommend now going onto the internet and browsing fabric. I personally use Taobao as my main fabric sourcing website. I sometimes source things from Japan here as well, but it's a lot pricier than getting it straight from Taobao. Taobao is honestly where a lot of resellers get their stuff from anyway. It's direct from China. I also have a master list of links. Everything that I find, I share with my patrons. So if you're interested in joining my Patreon, it is available from the lowest tier of $2 a month. So if you want to take a look in the description, I'll leave my Patreon there as well. There's a ton of tutorials for you and you get early access to content. Enough with that though. If you're lucky enough to have the swatches in real life, you can use this, but honestly, I don't really recommend that anymore. I recommend digitally shopping for your fabric, and that way you can literally just take a screenshot of the fabric that you want to input alongside your design. So these two things can be done first. Sometimes you'll get a better idea of the fabric by looking at it, or sometimes you'll want to do the final line art, which I do in Procreate. Oopsies. One sec. Un momento. Hiya. All right, where was this? There we go. Nothing happened. Got some cables there, sorry about that. Not to worry. All good. Where were we? Procreate. So, Procreate is a little bit clunky, but it runs on my little old iPad 6th generation, which is kind of old, but it's doing its best. It's hanging in there. So I will put the time-lapse video of what I do when I'm designing these sketches. Like I said, I have the 3 system tier ranking. So I'll offer affordable, a mid-tier, and then the premium option. And what I'll do first is I'll sketch out this person and their features to get a better feel, again, just to centralize. The whole design is going to be around this person. So they're the most important thing. I even like to ask my clients what kind of hairstyle they're planning on having, what color their hair is, what obviously their skin tone and eye color. All these things I believe factor into the designs. And I think this is why Melody Prade's designs popped off the way they did, because I always factored the girls first around the costumes rather than the other way around. A huge life hack as well was learning about the Procreate grids and being able to turn on drawing guides and symmetrical drawing guides. I didn't know this was a thing. Maybe if you use Procreate already, you're gonna think I'm an idiot for not knowing this, but it literally saves me so much time just being able to draw things and my drawings turn out way more better looking, which is something I still want to work on as an artist. I would love to get better at drawing, but I don't have a lot of time for that at the moment. But yes, in this stage, I then take all the sketches into consideration and I draw a few attempts at different versions of the design that I feel fits the best. I like to add little notes for myself as well. It's not production ready, but it's a solid blueprint to get started. It's not production ready, but this is a great thing to then take to the client as a pitch, an example for them to get a clear idea of what you're thinking of making. And in this stage, your client then can give feedback as well. Maybe they'll tell you outright which one that they're most affording my English brain. And once I've done the line art, I like to go in and add color. Another extra thing that you can do is go and add fabric texture, which you can do by overlaying and then changing the layer saturation or the layer opacity thing in here to be normal or lighten or screen, which is things I used to do in Photoshop, and now we have this stuff, but it's all great. And as you can see here with my layers, I like to make different layers for each design. That way I can go in and change them whenever I need to or make adjustments when the client has feedback. It's not just a solid art piece. I can then go in and change the line art, change the coloring and things like that. Yeah, pretty neat. And once this is done, this is kind of the part where it starts feeling real. So yeah, this video, I definitely focus more on designing with me concepts rather than making or sewing, because I think before you even get to sewing, you need to have your design and a plan ready in place. This dictates what it looks like. And by the way, you need a back design. So I start out by drawing the fronts only, and then once the front has been approved and they've chosen their one, I then go in and create the back. So I'll put the sketch here of what it looks like. I got a few corrections about hair and styling, and then from that I was able to go and make the final back design too, and trying to coordinate it with the other two members of the group. I start off by doing one member at a time and then branching off to make the other ones. And you might be wondering, how do you make group costumes look uniform but slightly different? And that is can be in the most subtle or dramatic differences. But what I like to do is at least tie them all together by having a similar top, usually, or a similar bottom, and then changing one of the two. But most of my designs, they have a similar top. I'm just realizing this now. They have a similar top. And then I'll always change the accessories to suit the personality of each person, each group member. And also playing around with gender roles, because sometimes a lot of the groups that I've designed for usually have a range, so it's fun to play with that. Not everyone has to have a skirt. Someone can have pants. Oh, heckin', sorry about that, my camera died. Anyway, where was I? So, once the design is finished, I then like to print them out. Because I'm the seamstress as well, I like to have physical copies of these designs in my room, rather than having to always have the digital thing up on my computer and searching for it. Where is it? I can literally just stick this up on the wall and I have this reference whenever I need. But yes, these are the finished designs here. These are all the finished designs. Now, I will actually be making these for HAIPA, so please subscribe if you want to see the making of. I also post a lot of my work in progress whips down on my Instagram, so I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to check that out. Follow me for seamstress costume design void times. There's a lot of voidness in here. Voidness? Is that a word? That's probably not a word. Anyway, so that is how I design idol costumes, and when my mind is blank, even when it says no thanks, another really helpful thing is genuinely get some movement. Go for a run, go for a walk, have a shower, have a cold shower, wash your face with cold water. Things happen. I like to carry this sketchbook when I'm going around Japan, in cafes, whenever I am going. Always carry this and this pen, which means you will never see me with a cute little handbag, because I always need this and my chunky water bottle, but that's a thing for another time. Because when you're out and about is usually when you get the good ideas, when you're not sat at your desk with a blank page in front of you. That's so confronting, and of course your brain's gonna be a bit shy. No, you're gonna be out and about, living your life, doing your things, doing the laundry, washing the dishes, and bam, it'll hit you. It will. So if you're feeling blocked creatively, start small or start big. Collect inspo, doodle badly, and touch fabric. Don't just touch grass, touch fabric. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and once again, thank you for Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. And if you're interested, check out their Mother's Day sale in the link below. Pick up something nice for your mum, maybe. I don't know, if you like your mum. I hope you like your mum. I love mine. I miss mine. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them in the questions below. I'm sorry I haven't been as consistent with uploading, but things have been hectic here in Japan. In a good way. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye. See ya.